Hi, I'm AnnMarie Carew, and I'm a fourth-year student in the BA Voice and Dance program in UL. The title of my research is An Exploration of the Impacts Electronic Dance Music, or EDM, can have on the well-being of students. This genre has become increasingly more popular among students over the past few years. As an active member of the EDM community, I've seen the popularity grow massively since I came to UL in first year. The amount of EDM-specific events being held in Limerick has tripled since 2016. EDM has been considered to be an underground genre since it hit hard in the 1990s, which ultimately has led to the development of negative stereotypes. My aim was to explore the unique opinions of members of this community and discover whether or not they have been impacted by EDM personally. Before I began my own primary research, I explored the literature relating to my topic. The readings I found most relevant are listed at the end of this presentation. I found these highly interesting and informative, and I would definitely recommend them for further research into this topic. Through this exploration, I noticed specific themes emerging, which I can relate to my own experiences with EDM. When I began my data collection, I used these themes as the foundation of my research questions. The main themes I noticed are as follows: extended touch, feeling, and intimacy norms, and the use of techniques to bring about emotional and physical responses. For my methodology, I used an ethnographic approach. Ethnography is the art and science of describing a human group, its institutions, interpersonal behaviors, material productions, and beliefs. As the main source of data is human opinions, it was important for me to use an ethnographic methodology. I used focus groups and semi-structured interviews to collect my data. I interviewed 2 experienced DJs, and the focus group was held with a group of fourth-year students across a number of departments. When I was analyzing my results, I noticed that the same themes appeared as in the literature. These themes are the main impacts EDM have on students. In my abstract, I propose that the popularity of EDM is not entirely based on the music itself, but on the community of people surrounding it. So, from my analysis, I have found that this was actually the case. Although it's not the only reason people are drawn to EDM, it does play a big part. I found that 100% of participants in the focus group and the interviews described the community as friendly and welcoming. They also said they enjoy being part of something bigger for a while. The open and diverse community has led to extended intimacy norms. So in other words, intimacy and affection are much more accepted in these events than they would be in our local pub or a mainstream nightclub. I also found it interesting that 75% of the focus group said they feel safer at EDM events compared to a mainstream nightclub. One participant said, "I could grab your hand, and I could grab my brother's hand, and we could all go dancing, and that's okay." I believe that a student can feel safe and welcomed at these events, which may help them to find a sense of belonging and acceptance. They may also just need to feel connected to someone for a few hours, and that's completely okay. These events will give you that. EDM is body music. It affects our bodies using a simple 4/4 beat, which is why we instinctively tap our feet or nod our heads. These are some of the external effects EDM has on us, but I've noticed many people talk about the feeling they get in their heart. So I found that the heavy beat connects to our individual heartbeats, which ultimately creates synchronization across the dance floor. So our heart beats at the same time, which allows the DJ to bring us on the same journey during their set. Anyone who listens to EDM knows about the drop. The drop indicates the climax of the track. A DJ will use certain techniques to take away parts of the main beat, and they will use uplifters to give the crowd the feeling of being pushed upwards, creating an airy and spiritual energy. More often than not, they will hold us there, suspended, which creates anticipation and excitement. And at this point, everybody just stops listening to music and they're waiting for the DJ to bring them back down to earth. This is what the drop is. You're dropped into the main beat of the song. There's a short video in the next slide, which is just an example of this drop. So because we are connected by our heartbeats, and we've been uplifted, suspended, and dropped together, there is an overwhelming sense of human connection across the dance floor. Human connection is vital for our mental health, but as a student moving away from home for the first time, it can be difficult to find this connection. This can have a lot of negative impacts, such as depression and isolation, which not only impacts a student's mental health, but it can also impact them academically. This research proposes that these events and this community can combat these feelings and give people a sense of human connection without having to put themselves forward too much. The theme of escape seems to appear throughout my data collection, but it did not arise in the literature. The participants of this study stated that they attend these events to escape into something bigger than themselves. I found this theme interesting and wanted to explore how exactly EDM can be used as an escape mechanism. To discuss EDM as an escape, I found it important to consider the sense of synergy. As discussed previously, there is a connection made on the dance floor, allowing individuals to be engulfed by synergy. I believe that the energy created can bring about shared, euphoric, and enlightening experiences, which ultimately provides attendees with an opportunity to escape reality for a while. It is also important to note that these events can become an escape from what is deemed normal in everyday life. The EDM scene is often associated with crazy, colorful costumes and alternative styles. The events provide attendees with the opportunity for self-expression without fear of judgment. Students who may feel out of place or lost can have the chance to explore a new side of themselves and discover their authentic self. In a place often considered hedonistic, creativity and expression are not only welcomed but celebrated. I believe that this openness can help students to not only accept themselves, but also the others around them. The qualities acquired at these events are often taken into everyday life after the rave is over. In conclusion, I have found that EDM does in fact have an impact on students. The events promise acceptance, community, friendship, and enlightenment. The music itself is a catalyst for spiritual journeys and shared moments of human connection. A student embarking on their new journey away from home can find comfort in these events, as well as experiencing growth, which in turn can impact them academically, mentally, and socially. For further research, I would recommend organizing an event specifically for the research and holding the focus group after this. I found I was limited by the nature of the FYP and the timeline I was given, and this is something I would have liked to have done. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for listening to my presentation, and I really hope you enjoyed it.